Welcome to another installment of 5-Minute Tones. On today's video, I want to show you one way you can run a cabinet block before an amp block on the Axe FX3 and FM9 and have it sound pretty tasty. Now, the usual way you would run a cab block in the Axe FX is to use it to load up an impulse response of a mic'd up cabinet. I would say more than 99.9% of the time, that's the way people use it. It mirrors the real world amp into cab into microphone style workflow. But sometimes you want to ask the question, I like dipping cookies in milk. What would it be like if I could dip milk in the cookie? What do you think about that one? Maybe I've just gone mad and that is the actual thing happening here. But before we get into it, let's start out. Brit JM45 jumped at these settings. My free IR LT-TV Mix 7 preamp settings right over there. And then the medium room reverb, 2002 Les Paul standard, we get this. Crunchy little JTM 45 style thing right there. Now I'm not going to remove this cabinet over here. I still want the sound of a mic'd up guitar cab after my amp, but I have two cab blocks on the Axe 3 and you have this on the FM9 as well. So what you can do is not use it for the impulse response loading capability. Let's go to Factory 2 and Cab 1024 because this one is totally flat. It's a null IR. We're going to use the preamp section in here because it has classic like channel strip style preamp modeling in here. Let's select the transformer preamp type. We'll go to high quality and I'll add a bunch of drive on here and I'll just crank the level up over here. Now, let's just have a listen to this so that I can convince you that it's something you might want to do, and then we'll talk about why this works. It's not too bad. It's like a kind of fat distortion in there. We can use the low cut and the high cut in the cab block to kind of tame it a little bit. Personally, I just like the low cut and I like bringing it up maybe around 200 Hertz. Let's hear that. Pretty well documented that there are plenty of classic guitar recordings which were made by overloading a, say, transformer-based channel strip, like kind of a Neve. You drive them and they have a very particular sound about them. So more recently, there have been pedal companies which have taken those designs and put them in pedals so that you can run them before your amp, like the Hudson Broadcast and the JHS Colorbox come to mind. Now, my only issue with this is I wish I could get more level and drive out of it. So one fix is to place a filter block before this cab. And I say cab, remember it's just got a null IR loaded in it. So let's grab a filter and then just crank the level control up on this filter. What we can then do is like assign a control switch to the bypass on the filter and the cab together, or set them to a scene so that this filter block is now slamming the input of the cab block, and I'm going to get a lot more drive. You'll see it on the VU. I can even add some saturation if I want to do that. So let's hear this now. Unique character in there. I'll let you hear it bypass, and then I've just saved these two blocks on in scene 2. We'll hear that. unique. I really, really like that. It would be awesome to either have some kind of trim for the cab block so you can boost the input gain going into it so you don't have to use an extra filter block, or better yet, to have this kind of transformer channel strip style drive like a Hudson broadcast model or a JHS color box model in the drive block, so you can just do this with a single block. It's a real nice alternative to, say, the Tube Screamer style drives that are in there, or the fuzzers. There's so much kind of scope for, I guess, something a little bit fresh, even though these old channel strips are pretty old. It's only recently people have been putting them in guitar pedals, and like I said, I think it's a pretty unique tone. At the moment though, if you've got an FM9 or an Axe-FX3, you've got that spare cab block on most presets, so you can run that flat IR, use the preamp in here, and just hit it with a filter block, or hit it with a drive block in front if you want to do something different, or a compressor, kind of emulate a different style channel strip. In fact, I want to try that. I'll play you all out with this. This is the JFET sustainer, sustain and level cranked up into that cab block. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can answer the question, have I gone mad, or is this something that you might actually want to try on your Axe-FX? If you like what I'm doing on the channel, loads of ways to support what I'm doing in the video description. Have a great day.